It's been a while since I caught you up on the garden, so let's see what's happening. We've had a couple of cold nights and I had to kind of tent my beds to make sure everything stayed fresh and healthy with the cold temperatures. We got down in the 20s. That's really cold for where I live. In this video, what I want to do is show you what's happening in the garden beds themselves and give you a quick update on the seedlings that I've had growing in pots kind of in and out of the garage. Let's take a look at the garden beds first. So here's my deep box, and it's got radishes, green onions, and a few little carrots. I'll give you a close-up view of those right now.
Okay, here you can see a couple of rows of radishes. Got those nicely spaced out. Here's a little random one. And if you look closely, you'll see that my green onions from seed have started to come up also. Here they are. I'm going to talk more about carrots in a future video, just about carrots. But this year I did plant carrots in with my radishes, and they've started to sprout as well, but they're really small. You can see this little carrot coming up. It seems like I didn't have the best germination rate on my carrots this year, but I am going to have a few. Here's another row of radishes that's been thinned. And here's some of my zombie onions, mentioned in a previous video. And what's really weird, these radishes were planted at the exact same time, but they've grown up and they're big. I don't know what's with this corner of the garden, but the radishes really like it.
Right now. Over here in my larger box, it's kind of a double box. I got a bunch of my radishes still going. A couple of these nice rosemaries, one here, one in the far left corner. So I've got my kale. This is my old kale, and you can see some of it is doing really well and some of it could be doing better, but we'll see how it goes with the nice temperatures coming up. I've also got a few zombie onions here in a row and some more radishes going as well.
I have some pots with strawberries in them that I pretty much don't do anything with other than throw a little water on them once in a while. The birds usually get the strawberries before I do, but it looks like I might get one today. There's one, and if I can find it on the video, I see another one right there. So these are kind of fun for me, but I don't really count on having a whole lot of strawberries around because the birds do seem to get them before I do.
Okay, now that we looked at what is actually growing in the boxes themselves, let's take a look at what's happening with the seedlings that I've had growing kind of inside and out.
First up, we have my kale. And you'll see the dinosaur kale here is doing pretty well. An extra one will pop out here. And this is a little curly kale that came up. He wasn't doing as well as these others, but still doing okay. Looks pretty good. Next up is spinach. Spinach is doing pretty well. Had an extra one pop up over here. These are growing every day and significantly bigger than when I showed them to you last time. Same thing with salad bowl lettuce. It's actually taken off. It's looking pretty good. I will probably put these in the garden soon. My romaine, having different levels of success with my romaine. This one is kind of a typical example. Some are a little bit more puny, some are a little bit better, but this is my favorite one to eat, so I'm hoping that these do okay. Next up is serrano pepper, and these are pretty strong little plants. I've got 3 of these, I think, and they're looking okay. pretty good. Basil is always doing great here. These are really starting to get big. I'll move these to the garden whenever I work on tomatoes. Tomatoes is a different story. So, but my basil's looking good. I have 4 of these. And then my cucumber plants. These are small bush cucumbers. I have 3 of them, and they are looking really good. They're going to be ready for the garden soon. They're looking great. It looks like this year, once again, I will be buying tomato plants because these are my tomato sprouts, and you can see they are as dry as dust. Even there's a couple of the seeds. I have no idea what happened. This is the same little terrarium that I used to sprout several of the plants that you just saw. They were doing quite well. But these things, they soaked up the water, they dried out. I added a little bit of extra water, and I just couldn't keep up with them. These, whatever happened, it was a tomato curse or a tomato jinx or something, because it's too late now for me probably to sprout some tomato plants. I might try just for the heck of it, but real soon I'm going to be ordering some tomato plants. I did that last year. They came in the mail, and they worked just fine. But I was really hoping that this year I could have my own. But what I've got is a big tomato fail.
Okay, there you have it. That's the update on the garden for this week. I'll keep working on the plants, making sure they've got water and some good light. I'm going to keep an eye on those temperatures because we could get surprised, but I don't think it's going to happen. And maybe later this week I'll have a quick surprise to post. Got one more thing I haven't really told you about too much, but for now, that's the major updates on the garden.